Listen to me. The reason most people never reach the level they dream about is because the moment pain shows up, they quit. The moment struggle knocks on the door, they start asking why. But what if I told you that pain was never there to break you? It was there to build you. See, the pain you're feeling right now, that pressure that makes you question if it's even worth it, that's the exact thing that's shaping the strength you'll need later. You can't talk about wanting success and then run when the grind gets tough. You can't say you want greatness but skip the parts that hurt. Pain is the process. The grind is the bridge. The tears you fight today will be the strength you stand on tomorrow. Every time you wake up tired and still choose to move, you're training your mind to lead your body. Every time you get rejected, every time you fail, every time you push through when nobody's clapping, that's you getting forged in fire. And that fire, it's necessary. Because when the spotlight finally hits you, when opportunity shows up, you'll be ready. You'll be grounded. You'll be built different. People will see the glory, but they'll never know the story. They'll never see the pain that turned into power. Most people pray for the dream, but run from the grind that builds it. You want the reward, but you don't want the road. You want the victory, but you don't want the valley. You can't skip the process and expect the promise. That's not how life works. Life gives the crown only to those who can handle the weight, and the weight comes from the work. The grind humbles you. It molds you. It breaks your ego so it can build your character. Every sleepless night, every lonely season, every time you wonder if it's even worth it, it's all adding up. It's building you into someone unstoppable. See, pain teaches you what pleasure never will. When everything's easy, you don't grow. You don't stretch. You don't evolve. But when you face pain, when you face loss, failure, and disappointment, you start discovering what's really inside you. That's when you find out who you are when nobody's watching. Pain doesn't lie. It doesn't flatter you. It reveals you. It shows you what you're made of. It tells you you got more in you. And when you learn to stop running from that, when you learn to face it head on, that's when everything starts changing. You see, the grind isn't glamorous. It's lonely. It's exhausting. It's days of doubt mixed with moments of faith. It's showing up when the results don't show. It's pushing through the fatigue, the frustration, the fear. And yet, that's the difference between the average and the elite. The average want comfort, the elite want character, the average chase pleasure, the elite chase purpose. The grind is the separation line. It's the wall that divides the talkers from the doors. And pain, that's the toll you pay to cross it. You can't get stronger lifting feathers. You get stronger lifting weight. And the weight of life, the stress, the heartbreak, the rejection, that's your gym. Every challenge you survive adds muscle to your mindset. Every disappointment deepens your drive. So stop wishing it was easier. Start getting tougher. Stop asking, why me? And start saying, try me. Because the truth is, the pain you feel today is setting you up for peace tomorrow. You either grind now or you cry later. But you don't get both. You say you want to be successful. Then understand this success is not built on comfort. Success is built on consistency. It's built on resilience. It's built on your ability to stand tall when everything around you is falling apart. You can't fold when it hurts. You can't quit when it's uncomfortable. Every moment of pain is a test, not to destroy you, but to prove you. Life's asking, how bad do you want it? And if your answer is, I'll do whatever it takes, then pain becomes your partner, not your problem. When you learn to embrace pain, you stop seeing it as punishment. You start seeing it as preparation. You start realizing that every tough season was necessary for your next season. You stop crying about what didn't work and start grinding on what will. That's growth. That's maturity. That's how you evolve from hoping into hustling. There are people right now who gave up because it got hard. People who let temporary pain make them forfeit permanent promise. Don't let that be you. Don't let your story end in the middle of the struggle. If you push through the pain, I promise, one day you'll wake up and realize it was all worth it. Every tear, every scar, every sleepless night. Because pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. The grind might hurt now, but regret will hurt worse. So when life hits you, when it knocks the wind out of your chest, when everything in you screams to stop, don't. Breathe, stand up, keep going. Remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself who you're doing it for, because there's a version of you waiting on the other side of this pain, stronger, wiser, unstoppable. You can't meet that version if you quit here. Remember, the pain you feel today is the power you'll hold tomorrow. Grind now so you never have to cry later. You say you want success, but let me ask you, what are you willing to give up for it? Because success isn't free. There's a price for everything you say you want. You can't keep your comfort and claim your crown. You can't chase distractions and still catch your destiny. The grind demands payment up front, in time, in focus, in sacrifice. And too many people want the results but don't want to pay the cost. They want to shine without sweating. But life doesn't work like that. You got to pay the entry fee, and that fee is sacrifice. See, everybody wants to be great until it's time to give something up. You want the body, but you don't want to wake up early. You want the business, but you don't want to work weekends. You want the peace, but you don't want to let go of people who bring chaos. You can't hold on to average and expect excellence. Something's got to go. You got to make a trade. Every dream demands an exchange. Your time for growth, your comfort for consistency, your entertainment for elevation. The question is, are you willing to pay? Sacrifice doesn't feel good, but it works. It builds you in ways pleasure never could. You learn to delay gratification. You learn to say no to what's easy so you can say yes to what's worth it. You start training your willpower like a muscle. And let me tell you, that's the difference between winners and wishers. Wishers want the reward without the work. And then there's understand, if I have to lose sleep, lose friends, lose comfort, I'll do it because my purpose is too big to stay small. You can't live two lives, the life of the grind and the life of excuses. You got to choose. You can't complain about not having enough time when you're giving it away to things that don't serve your purpose. Cut it. Cut the Netflix. Cut the endless scrolling. Cut the people who drain your focus. Every distraction you entertain is a dream delay, and the world doesn't wait. Opportunity won't sit around until you're ready. You have to be ready now. And here's the truth: sacrifice isn't just about what you give up. It's about what you're gaining. You're gaining discipline. You're gaining focus. You're gaining control over your future. Every time you say no to something small, you say yes to something greater. Every time you sacrifice comfort, you build capacity. That's what the grind does. It stretches you. It expands your limits until you realize how far you can really go. But most people stop too early. They want overnight success from part-time effort. They want to see progress without perseverance. You got to understand, success is rented and the rent is due every day. You don't get to pay once and coast. You got to show up daily, sacrifice daily, grind daily, even when you don't see results, even when nobody notices, even when it feels like nothing's happening. Because something is happening, every bit of effort compounds, every small act of discipline adds up. And one day, it all connects. And that's when people call you lucky. But you'll know, that wasn't luck, that was sacrifice. You might have to lose friends who don't share your vision. You might have to distance yourself from comfort zones. You might have to walk alone for a season. But don't get it twisted. Isolation in your grind isn't punishment, it's preparation. You're being separated so you can be elevated. You're being set apart so you can stand out. Everybody won't understand that. Some will call you obsessed. Some will say you've changed. And they're right, you have. Because you can't stay the same and expect a different life. Change costs something. And I get it, it's hard to give up what feels good right now for something you can't yet see. But that's faith, that's vision. You got to believe that what you're working for is greater than what you're walking away from. You got to trust that the pain of sacrifice is nothing compared to the pain of regret. Regret is heavy, it's cold, and it lasts forever. But sacrifice has a return. It pays back in peace, freedom, fulfillment, legacy. So when you feel like you're missing out, when you see other people chilling while you're grinding, remind yourself, you're not losing time, you're buying your future. You're not missing fun, you're making room for freedom. You're not falling behind, you're building something that lasts. Because one day, the same people who laughed at your discipline will wish they had your drive. You either sacrifice for your dream now, or your dream becomes the sacrifice later. You either put in the work, or you pay the price in tears. You can cry through the grind or cry because you didn't grind, but you don't get to avoid both. So make the decision, grind now, sacrifice now, give everything you've got now. Because later, when you look back at your life, you won't be crying over what you lost. You'll be smiling at what you earned. Motivation feels good. It makes you excited. It gets your heart pumping, your mind racing, your energy high. But let me tell you the truth. Motivation fades. It doesn't last. It's temporary. You can't build greatness on feelings because one day you'll wake up tired. One day you won't feel inspired. One day that fire won't be there. And that's when most people quit. But the ones who make it, they've learned to move on discipline. They don't depend on feelings. They depend on commitment. Discipline is what shows up when motivation walks out. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going when it's no longer fun. It's what makes you get up at 5 a.m. when the bed feels warm and the world is quiet. It's what makes you keep grinding when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when nobody even believes in you. Discipline says, I made a promise to myself and I'm not breaking it. That's the difference between people who wish and people who win. You see, motivation is emotional, discipline is logical. Motivation said, I feel like doing it. Discipline says, I said I'd do it, so I'm doing it. Motivation depends on mood, discipline depends on mindset, and if you live your life based on how you feel, you'll never reach the level you were built for, because the grind doesn't care about your feelings. The grind only responds to consistency. There are people out there with half your talent, half your opportunity, but they're winning because they show up every single day. They don't wait for the perfect moment, they create it. They don't need hype, they need habit. They don't need applause, they need accountability. And that's where discipline lives, in the quiet. Repetitive work that no one celebrates, but everyone eventually sees. Discipline doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't need approval. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. You don't have to be motivated to do what's right. You just have to be disciplined enough to start. Because when you start, momentum builds. And momentum creates energy. That's how you get back to motivation. Not by waiting for it, but by working for it. Most people think success is about big moves. It's not. It's about small, consistent actions done over and over again long after the excitement is gone. Every rep, every repetition, every hour spent mastering your craft. That's discipline. It's the little things that build big results. You might not see the progress day by day, but discipline is working quietly in the background, building your foundation brick by brick. The truth is, discipline is the difference between almost and always. Almost everyone starts, almost everyone tries, but only the disciplined finish. Because when the pain comes, they don't stop. When doubt shows up, they don't fold. They don't let their emotions dictate their execution. They understand consistency beats intensity. Showing up tired beats showing up perfect. One more rep, one more day, one more step. That's discipline. And let me tell you, discipline doesn't mean you'll always feel strong. It means you'll still move forward even when you feel weak. It means when your emotions say quit, your purpose says keep going. Discipline is your muscle, and the only way it grows is through resistance. Every time you fight the urge to quit, you're building strength. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you're proving to yourself that you're in control. Not your emotions, not your excuses, not your fears, you. You gotta stop relying on motivation to save you. Motivation won't wake you up when the alarm goes off. Discipline will. Motivation won't push you through when the crowd's gone. Discipline will. Motivation won't remind you of your why. When life gets heavy, discipline will. Because discipline remembers what motivation forgets, that your goals are bigger than your comfort. And here's the beautiful thing. When you live by discipline long enough, it becomes who you are. It's no longer something you have to force. It's something that flows. It becomes automatic. You start trusting yourself. You start believing in your word. You stop negotiating with your excuses because you've trained your mind to obey your purpose, not your pain. So yeah, motivation might start the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Motivation might make you move, but discipline makes you unstoppable. Motivation is loud. Discipline is quiet. But when it's all said and done, the quiet ones win. The ones who do the work when nobody's watching. The ones who push through when it hurts. The ones who stay consistent when everyone else fades, those are the ones who rise. You don't need to be inspired every day. You just need to be disciplined every day. Because at the end of the day, discipline speaks louder than motivation ever will. Grind now, stay locked in, stay committed, because your discipline today will be the reason you don't have to cry later. Everybody wants to rest. Everybody wants peace. Everybody wants that feeling of freedom, of security, of knowing you made it, but not everybody wants to earn it. You can't rest until you've worked. You can't expect peace if you haven't gone through the pressure. You can't expect the reward if you haven't done the reps. Too many people want the harvest without planting the seed. They want to celebrate before they've even sacrificed. But the truth is simple. You can't skip the grind and expect to enjoy the glory. You have to earn the right to rest. Rest hits different when you've paid for it. Sleep feels better when you've earned it. Freedom feels real when it came from discipline, not shortcuts. See, a lot of people rest too early. They rest in the middle of the race. They rest while they're still behind. They rest because they deserve a break. But you don't deserve rest just because you're tired. You deserve rest because you've finished. There's a difference. being tired is a sign to push smarter, not to stop completely. The grind doesn't reward those who quit halfway. It rewards those who cross the line. You can't cry about not having results if you didn't stay long enough to earn them. You can't complain about being stuck when you keep taking breaks that you haven't earned. Every time you quit too soon, you reset the process. Every time you choose comfort over commitment, you rob yourself of progress. That's why the greats, the real greats, don't stop when they're tired. They stop when they're done. They stop when the job's complete. They stop when the mission's fulfilled. There's something powerful about earning your rest. When you know you've given everything, every ounce of energy, every drop of sweat, every breath of effort, you rest differently. You rest in pride, not guilt. You rest knowing you didn't cheat yourself. You rest knowing your peace is built, not borrowed. That's what the grind gives you. It gives you peace of mind. It gives you a sense of fulfillment that comfort could never offer. See, rest is supposed to be a reward, not a routine. You earn it through consistency. You earn it through effort. You earn it through execution. But too many people flip that. They make rest the habit and effort the exception. They talk about balance, but balance doesn't mean laziness. Balance means you've worked hard enough to deserve your peace. Balance means you've handled your business so you can breathe without guilt. When you grind now, when you give everything now, you're building a life where rest is no longer an escape, it's a celebration. You won't rest because you're running from responsibility. You'll rest because you fulfilled it. You won't rest to hide from your pain. You'll rest because you conquered it. That's the difference between regretful rest and rewarding rest. One comes from avoidance. The other comes from achievement. There's a kind of rest that only hard workers understand. It's that deep breath after a long journey, that exhale that says, I did it. It's that silence after the noise, that peace after the pressure. You can't fake that. You can't buy that. You can't talk your way into it. You have to earn it. It comes from knowing you didn't cut corners, you didn't make excuses, you didn't fold under fire. You faced it, fought it, and finished it. That's what makes rest mean something. You can't spend your life running from the grind and expect to rest easy. Because rest doesn't come from doing nothing. It comes from knowing you did enough. It comes from execution. When you've done the work, your mind can rest. Your spirit can rest. You're not restless, you're rewarded. But when you take shortcuts, when you skip the grind, when you quit too soon, even your rest feels heavy. You lay down, but you can't relax because deep down, you know you could have done more. You know you didn't give it your all. And that thought, that's what keeps people up at night. Not the work, the regret. You want peace, earn it. You want freedom, work for it. You want to rest without worry, grind now. Put in the hours, pay your dues, make the sacrifices. Because when you do, you build a future where rest comes naturally, not as a break from your problems, but as a reflection of your progress. And listen, the grind isn't punishment. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about building yourself up. It's about discipline. It's about preparation. It's about earning the right to look in the mirror and say, I gave everything I had. That's what the grind gives you, integrity. It gives you confidence. It gives you peace that can't be taken away. One day when the noise stops, when the lights go out, when the applause fades, you're going to ask yourself one question. Did I give it everything? Did I grind hard enough that I can rest without regret? Because rest without regret is the real reward. That's the kind of peace that no one can hand you. You can only earn it. So grind like your future depends on it, because it does. Work now, push now, give your all now. Don't stop until you've earned it. Because when it's all said and done, you'll either be crying over what you didn't do or resting in what you built. Grind now so you can rest later without tears, without guilt, without regret.